Good morning, students. Today we will start with 1.3, the years of depression. We have studied in the last part that how Germany faced so many problems after the First World War, how they were punished by the winning powers, and we have also seen the effects of the war on Germany as well as on Europe. And we have also seen that how much Germany faced their economic crisis. So the next part is 1.3, the years of depression. Between the 1924 and 1925, there was a little stability. That means the economy was stable. Yet, it could not stand stable for a longer period of time. Even the countries like USA, there was recession seen. German investment and industrial recovery were totally dependent on the loans which were taken by USA. There is a term here that is Wall Street Exchange. Children, what is the meaning of Wall Street Exchange? Wall Street Exchange means it is a street, as the name itself is there, street. So it is a Wall Street is a name of a street which is located in the lower Manhattan section of New York City. That is the home of the New York Stock Exchange. So this Wall Street is a street where the USA Stock Exchange is there, and there was a crash of this exchange, Wall Street Exchange, that is the stock exchange, in 1929. Crash means fall. Now fall doesn't mean the building had fallen. Fall means the prices of the shares that had fallen down. Now, when the prices of the shares fell down, what happened? The people, those who have bought the shares, they were afraid. So, the fall in prices, people made efforts to sell their shares. On a single day, for example, you can see on 24th October, 13 million shares were sold. Because the people, those who have invested money in different companies, they came to know that now there is a recession and the prices of the shares have fallen down. So they started selling their shares. This was the start of great economic depression. Over the next 3 years, that is between 1929 and 1932, the national income of the USA fell by half. That is by 50%, the national income of USA had fallen down. Now, what happens when there is a recession or economic depression? Let me tell you first of all this economic depression or recession, what is the meaning of these terms? It is actually a business cycle contraction where there is a general decline in the economic activity. Recession generally occurs when there is a widespread drop in spending. When when people stop spending money in the market, what will happen? There is production, but people are not buying the goods. What is going to happen? Definitely, the factories have to be shut down. The industrial units have to be shut down. And when the industrial units will be shut down or the factories will be shut down, there will be a large amount of unemployment. Same way, farmers, it's not only the factories and industries, same way the farmers will also get affected. So that whole situation, that is known as recession or great economic depression. So this great economic depression, it occurred between the year 1929 and 1932, which has affected mainly USA. But as we know, the business or the trade is related with one and the other country. All the countries are related with one another. So if in one country there is recession, it is going to affect even the other countries also. As you have seen here, over the next 3 years, the national income of USA, it left only 50% of national income was there in USA. So you can think that how the economy has fallen down. Factories were shut down, exports fell. Definitely, there were no buyers in the market. So there is no meaning of export. Farmers were badly hit, and speculators means those who invest the money in the market, they started withdrawing their money from the market. The effects of this recession in US economy was felt in the whole world. That is what is the meaning of recession or economic depression. The German economy was worst hit. We already know that Germany was already facing so many problems. It had no resources, no gold left. They were under so many debts. They were not able to repay those debts. And under such situation, you can think what will happen to Germany when there is further economic depression in the world. So it is the Germany which was hard hit by this economic crisis. What happened in Germany by 1932? Industrial production was reduced to 40%. What was there in 1929, from that it reduced to 40% in 1932. What will happen when industrial production will reduce? When there is no work in the industries, workers lost their jobs and they were paid very less wages. So many lost the jobs. Those who were working also, they used to get very low wages, because of which there were too many unemployed people, near about 6 million in Germany. So there were 6 million unemployed people in Germany. What they will do? There were no factories, there were no industries for them to work. So what these people, unemployed people used to do is, on the streets of Germany, you could see these men with placards around their necks saying willing to do any work. So what these people used to were doing when they became unemployed suddenly, these people, they were ready to do any type of work. So they started hanging a placard in their neck where it was written willing to do any work. So you can think of the situation in Germany, how bad the situation was. And unemployed youths played cards. Some of them played cards. They used to simply sit at the corner of the street, desperately queued up at the local employment exchange. Sometimes they used to make a big queue at the employment exchange. Employment exchange is a place where you register yourselves for getting employment. So in such places, they used to queue up a long queue. But as jobs disappeared, the youth took, some of the youth who were not able to survive also, they were not able to feed their families also. Such people, they started even many criminal activities in the country. The economic crisis created deep anxieties and fears in people. People were afraid even to move out. because nobody knows who will kill them and take away their whatever they have, the money or the wealth. Not only those people, even the middle classes people, that is, those who were salaried people, those who were pensioners, they saw their savings diminishing when the currency lost its value. Even the people, those who were getting salaries, those old people, those who were getting pensions from their governments, even whatever they saved, that will that was getting finished off. Definitely that happens. What is happening right now during the COVID? Many people have lost jobs, and many are there who are on the streets. They are ready to do any type of work. Once a person who was working in an office, today I can see a person even riding a rickshaw or driving an auto, because they don't have any job, they don't have any money even to survive. Even the people's salaries are now, they are getting 50% of the salaries. So whatever you have stored in the bank, what will happen? That will get finished off. So the middle class people, not only the salaried people, the small businessmen, self-employed, the retailers suffered as their business got ruined. Their business got ruined. So they all also suffered. So what is happening in now during COVID? You can just imagine the same kind of recession in the world. The money is not flowing. Are you seeing that people are going to the market spending money like earlier they used to spend? Are they going to the malls, eating, spending, watching movies and spending money? No. So the money is not circulating in the market because the people are saving that money. Now the people don't have jobs. So whatever they have, they are saving. So the money is not flowing. So what is happening? When money is not flowing, even the business class people are getting losses. The markets are open, but there are no customers. So that is what is a situation which will lead to the recession of the economy. So that is how the when the business people, when the salaried class people, even they got ruined, and these sections of society, they were afraid because earlier they were leading a better life because they had a good income. But during this economic crisis, even their business was not working, and these sections of society were filled with a fear of proletarianization. Now, what do you mean by this term proletarianization? Proletarianization means to reduce to the poverty. It is a term that means reduce to the level of poverty or poor people. A very, very, not only poor, it is called as a very poor people or the poor people. That is the term proletarianization means. So, these people were afraid that they will also be leading to this level of working classes or to the poverty. An anxiety of, it means an anxiety of being reduced to the ranks of the working class. So their condition also will be same like the working class. Even they have to be sitting on the streets like the working class are sitting and begging for the jobs, or more worse than that. So that is what is called as fear of proletarianization. Only organized workers could manage to keep their heads above water, but unemployment weakened their bargaining power also. Big business also was in crisis. The large masses of peasants even was affected by a sharp fall in the agricultural prices. As I told you, when the customers are not there in the market, what will happen to the goods which are there in the market? When customers are not there to buy, definitely the prices of the goods will fall down. When there is nobody to buy, prices of the goods will fall down. So that is what happened. Agricultural prices, they had fallen down, which has affected even the farmers. Even women, unable to fill their children's stomachs, were filled with a sense of hopelessness or despair. So we have seen what worse condition was there in Germany. Now what all we are now why we are talking about all this, because we are heading towards that why Hitler gained power, or under what circumstances he had gained the power. That is what we are going through. Even the Weimar Republic, the government, it was also that government also was could not remain for much longer time. It was becoming weakened. It was not able to control the situation. People lost the hope upon this government. The Weimar constitution had some defects which made it unstable and vulnerable to dictatorship. This government was not at all stable. It has some loopholes, some defects which had led to the dictatorship. Another defect was, now in the defects we are talking about in this government, this made achieving a majority by any one party a near impossible task, leading to a rule by coalition. At that time, this party was also not so popular. There were so many parties, neck to neck competition was there, and because of this, only one single party was not able to come to power, so they used to choose the coalition parties. Another defect was Article 48, which gave the president the powers to impose emergency, suspend civil rights, and rule by decree. Decree is constitution. So rule by decree also. Within its short life, the Weimar Republic saw 20 different cabinets. You can see that it was not at all stable. Within few years, there was so many people came into the power and left. That means the cabinet, the ministers changed so many times, lasting on an average 239 days, and the liberal use of 48. Article 48 was used so much. All the powers were in the hands of the president. The people were not given any powers. There were no civil rights given. So this all was also done by the Weimar Republic. So people did not like it at all. People lost confidence rather in this democratic parliamentary system, which seemed to offer no solutions. Only for the namesake, it was a parliamentary system. People had no rights. So people completely lost their confidence on this Weimar Republican political party or democratic parliamentary system. They had no faith on this party. What happened when the people did not have faith on this Weimar Republican party? We are leading towards the part 2 that has led to the rise in power of a dictator who is Hitler. So we are going to do now part 2, that is Hitler's rise to power. You can ask a question to yourselves that what led to Hitler's rise in power? What led to Hitler's rise in power? The answer is this: the crisis in the economy. We have seen there was crisis in the economy, and that is one situation which had given Hitler to come to the power, because that crisis was there in the whole world and more crisis was observed in Germany, and people lost faith completely on the Weimar Republican government. Polity is political party. Weimar Republic, the people had no faith on this party, and there was frequent change. Even the society, that is, the society was not liking the existing governments, and there was even change in the minds of the people, society's minds. These all formed the background to Hitler's rise in power. So that is the answer there, children. What led to Hitler's rise in power? Crisis in economy, polity, crisis in polity, that is The political parties were not able to rule properly, they were not stable. Society, changes in the society, the people's thinking changed. So these all led to the Hitler's rise to power. Now let us read something about the Hitler also. Hitler was born in 1889 in Austria. Austria is one of the European country neighboring to Germany. Hitler spent his youth in poverty. He was not from a rich family. He was also from a poor family. During the First World War, he enrolled himself in the army. He was a part of the army when there was First World War. He acted as a messenger in the front. He became a corporal and then earned medals for bravery. He leaded he led many of the army battalions and he got even so many medals for his bravery. But when Germany was defeated in the First World War, that has horrified him. Not only that, the Versailles Treaty, which we have already done, when the First World War got over, there was an agreement between the winning and the losing powers at place called as Versailles in France, where Germany was punished. So many, the Germany was humiliated, Germany was punished. So this kind of humiliation, this kind of punishment, that made Hitler furious. He was angry. He wanted to take revenge, that why this had happened with my country, Germany. In 1919 he joined a small group called German Workers' Party. When he joined this group, he also took over the organization within a short span of time, and he renamed this party as National Socialist German Workers' Party. Finally, this party came to be known as Nazi Party. So that small group of people who were earlier called themselves just as the Workers' Party, they have renamed it as National Socialist German Workers' Party, and finally they named this party as Nazi Party. So it is the Hitler's party which is called as the Nazi Party. So what did he do initially? Initially, this party thought of capturing over Germany. So first thing, in 1923, Hitler planned a seize control over Bavaria. Now what is Bavaria? Bavaria is a state in Germany, which is the largest state in Germany area wise. Bavaria is the largest state in Germany area wise at that time. So Hitler planned, seize means attacking, control, attacking suddenly. So he thought of seize control over Bavaria. He marched to Berlin, but he was captured there. He could not capture over Bavaria. Before he captured that, Hitler was caught by Weimar Republican government. When he was caught, he was arrested. He tried for treason. Treason means betrayal. Treason means betraying one's own country. When you betray your own country, when you do something wrong against your own country, your own government, that is called as treason. So he was punished for treason. That means he has betrayed his own country, but later on he was released. The Nazis could not effectively mobilize popular support till 1930s. Till 1930, Nazis tried their level best, but they could not popularize their party. But they got a chance during the Great Depression, that Nazism became a mass movement. Great Depression, people were suffering in Germany. People wanted now somebody who will save them. That was the situation when Nazi government took that situation as an advantage and they started spreading or popularizing their own party. As we have seen in 1929, banks collapsed. As I told you, if the people, those who are suffering in this Great Depression in Germany, they have taken out their money from the banks. So banks was left with no money. So banks had shut down. Business was shut down. Workers lost their jobs. Middle class were threatened. They were threatened with destitution. They were afraid that they will be impoverished or they will be reduced to the level of the poverty. In such a situation, Nazi propaganda means spreading about the Nazi party. That is the meaning of Nazi propaganda. So there was a Nazi propaganda or spreading of the Nazi party was taking place, stirring hopes of a better future, and they were popularizing, like campaigning. Propaganda is kind of a campaigning, where they were campaigning about their party, what the party will do for the people if they are voted. So that is how they used to give the campaigning. In 1928, Nazi party got no more than 2.6% votes in the German parliament, which is called as Reichstag. So by 1928, they were not so popular. So they got only 2.6% votes. But by 1932, that is just during that Great Depression, at that time their parties, their propaganda increased, the people came to know about this party, and the party got the largest votes for this party, single party, that is 37% of the votes which were got by the Nazi party. So now definitely they could make their own political party, their own government. Propaganda, the meaning is given here. It is a specific type of message directly aimed at influencing the opinion of people. This is what I said. In other words, it's a campaigning by use of posters, films, popular speeches, promises, etc. So, you can see here a picture. This is a Nuremberg rally. You can see how many people are gathered here. Now the rally is where the Hitler was giving speech for loyalty. Listen to his speeches. People used to listen to his speeches because he was a great speaker. He was a great speaker. I don't know how many of you have heard Indira Gandhi or Nehru, even Modi ji. These people are great speakers. People are very much inspired by these speeches. So that's how Hitler was popular. So we have here, just under this picture, we have a paragraph where it is written that how his party became popular. Hitler was a powerful speaker. People used to come in large number just to hear Hitler. His passion, his words moved the people. The way he used to speak, the promises he gave to the people, that moved the people because he promised to build a strong nation. He promised that he will, because the people were now completely, they were completely depressed because of that Versailles Act, because of this economic depression, unemployment, poverty in the country. People wanted a strong leader, and that leader they saw in Hitler. So that's how he built us. He told that he will bring a strong nation. Also, he had also said that whatever injustice has happened with Germany during the Versailles Treaty, he is going to take revenge. He will restore the respect of the German people. That is, he will restore the dignity. Dignity means respect of the German people. He also promised employment for those looking work and secure a future for the youth. He also promised that to weed out all foreign influences. We have seen after the First World War, many allies countries, the winning powers have taken over many areas of Germany. So he promised that he is going to remove all these foreign powers and foreign conspiracies who have made German to reduce to the zero level. They all will be taken out, removed from the country. Hitler devised a new style of politics. He understood the significance of rituals, spectacle in mass mobilization. He knew that how to influence the people. So he used certain symbols, which I'll show you just in the next figure, which I'm going to show you, where he has used the kind of some of the symbols which you can see here in this picture. Swastika, there is a picture of symbol, rather it is symbol of swastika. You know this swastika, this one which I am talking about, children. Swastika is a symbol which is generally equal armed cross with each arm continued at a right angle clockwise as the emblem of the German Nazi party. So it was used as an emblem of the Nazi German party. It was said to be sacred. So that kind of rituals or the symbols he used at that time. So this is how he had spread his party. And just two more lines, then we'll finish off this part. Nazi propaganda skillfully projected Hitler as a messiah. He was seen as a messenger of God. Messiah means a priest or a king who has come to save the people. So he was seen as a savior, someone who had arrived to deliver people from their distress, who will take out the people from their problems, from their sorrows. It is an imagine that captured the imagination of people whose sense of dignity and pride had been shattered. People's dignity was shattered after the First World War. So they wanted a person who will take care of their respect, who will build a strong German nation again. So they welcomed with their open hands, and that is how Hitler became the ruler of Germany. That completes your part 2. 2.1. How did Hitler finally destroy the democracy and became the dictator? That we'll do in the next video, children. That's all. Have a good day, students.